Hi and welcome to this week's video, where we are looking at one thought as to why these ancient monuments are positioned where they are, and that is the topic of ley lines. Ley lines are believed by some to be straight alignments of ancient, sacred or mystical sites. Ley lines are hypothetical alignments of ancient monuments, religious sites and significant geological features that are believed to have spiritual or mystical significance. The concept of ley lines is rooted in Earth's ancient and sacred landscapes, and it's been a topic of interest and speculations among various cultures and traditions. The concept of ley lines was popularised in the 20th century by Alfred Watkins, who was an English author, antiquarian and amateur archaeologist, who is best known for his work on ley lines and the concept of ley hunting. He introduced the idea of ley lines in his book The Old Straight Track, which was first published in 1925. Watkins proposed that ancient peoples used a network of straight lines connecting significant landmarks such as prehistoric monuments and other prominent features in the landscape. He believed that these lines, which he called ley lines, were used for navigation or as a pilgrimage route in ancient times. Watkins' theory of ley lines gained some popularity and has continued to be an interest to various groups. However, it has been widely criticised by mainstream archaeologists and scientists, who argue that Watkins' concept lacks scientific evidence and is based on subjective observations and selective data. Watkins' ideas on ley lines have left a lasting impact on certain subcultures, and his work continues to be discussed and debated by those interested in alternative theories about the past and the landscape. However, it is important to note that his theories remain on the fringe of mainstream archaeology and science. Various cultures around the world have their own interpretation of ley lines or similar concept. For example, in China there's the concept of feng shui, which involves the arrangement of objects and the environment to enhance the flow of energy. In South America, ancient civilizations like the Nazca culture are known for creating large-scale geoglyphs that some believe aligned with ley lines. Some people say that ley lines are sources of Earth energy, or that they align with the Earth's magnetic field. Others believe that ley lines may have a connection with the positions of the sun, moon and stars. Despite the lack of evidence supporting these claims, ley lines have become part of popular culture and often featured in literature, art and discussions about the mystical of the ancient world. Of course, we cannot see these lines, and that could be the main reason why people are skeptical about them. Dowsers, individuals who claim the ability to locate underground water or energy sources using rods or pendulums. In fact, dowsing has been used for many years to find water and is still used to find water today. Dowsers also use their tools to find hidden energies and connection within the earth. Despite its long history and widespread use in various cultures, some people remain skeptical about the effectiveness of dowsing. Some studies have failed to provide conclusive evidence supporting the idea that dowsing works beyond chance. The movement of the dowsing tools are often attributed to involuntary muscle movements or subconscious cues from the dowser. For me to understand these energies, I've spent time at Avebury with people who I've worked with to try and get me to feel the energy for myself, which I have been open about the fact that I could not feel the energies through my body. So when I could not feel this energy for myself, I have spent time with dowsers, and I have to say I was surprised, leaving me with a more open thought to these ley lines and the use of dowsing. I would also recommend, if you're skeptical about the use of dowsing, it is to test it for yourselves. There are so many ley lines, so for this video I thought I'd take a look at the ley lines that involve the Avebury area. There are a few ley lines that involve Avebury, but the best known that runs through Avebury is the Michael and Mary ley lines. They start on English soil near Land's End, Cornwall, to the beach of Hopton, Norfolk, on the East Anglian coast. Dowsers Paul Borehurst and Hamish Miller followed these two lines in their entirety, passing through sacred sites such as Glastonbury Tor and Avebury. They wrote about their journey in their book, The Sun and Serpent. Every place where the two lines meet and cross is significant. Avebury sits in the halfway point and is a place of great interest to the believers of the ley line energy. If you're interested in these ley lines, then The Sun and Serpent is a really good book to read, and I will put a link in the description below. As you see by the photo, you can see a straight line, some call it the sighting line, the two lines that move around, and at some point they do in fact cross over, and it is believed this is where they cross as the most powerful point. As we look at the Avebury area closer, you will see a much better view of how these two lines move. The blue line is the Mary line and the yellow line is the Michael line. I got them as close as I could to the ley line movements. The Mary line goes through the Adam and Eve stone, the remains of the Beckhampton Avenue, before crossing the Michael line at Windmill Hill, the Neolithic causeway enclosure. The Mary line then goes to Winterbourne Monkton Church, the Church of St Mary Magdalene. Is that a coincidence that the name of the church is St Mary Magdalene on the Mary line? It is the only St Mary Magdalene church that I could find in the Wiltshire area, but as you can see on the map, there are plenty of St Mary churches. There are also churches with the name of St Michael on the Michael line, but again there are plenty of St Michael churches that are not placed on this energy line. When I first started looking into ley lines, I questioned why people were talking about churches being placed on these lines. Although we do know that churches have been built on ancient monuments, which I have covered before and will put a link in the description below. I am still unsure if churches are built on these lines for a reason, or if it is just to cover up the ancient monuments and the builders of the churches were unaware of these ley lines. Something that I will be looking into further, as there is no clear answer. Alfred Watkins does mention about churches being built on these straight lines, and Watkins talks about Pope Gregory, which I have covered in the video I just mentioned. Watkins also mentions another book called Byways in British Archaeology by Walter Johnson. I am at the time of editing this video found a copy of that book and now waiting for it to arrive, so this will be a topic I will come back to. Back to the Mary and Michael ley lines. The two lines then meet again at Avebury, where the Michael line then goes down the West Cannon Avenue, missing the Faulkner's Circle as it heads towards the sanctuary. The Mary line goes close to Silbury Hill, then up to the sacred springs of Swallow Head, then to the West Kennet Long Barrow, although it does miss a lot of the other long barrows in the area and possible stone circles. The Mary line then meets the Michael line at the sanctuary. The Michael line does run close to Merlin's Mound at Marlborough. This is a brief look at these lines, and I have mentioned some of the things the lines miss, like the Faulkner Circle, Winterbourne Bassett Lost Stone Circle, and a large number of long barrows. Do I believe in ley lines? You could say yes. I do sit on the fence where these are concerned. I can see the arguments for them, but at the same time I can see the arguments against them. So here are a few points on both sides. The arguments for ley lines. People argue that ley lines have historical and cultural significance, pointing to the alignments of ancient sites and the importance of these alignments in various cultures and civilizations. Some people believe that ley lines carry a specific energy or mystical force. Advocates argue that energy pathways can affect the environment positively and influence spiritual experiences. Some theories suggest that ley lines are influenced by natural, geometric, and geological factors. Prominence argues that the factors could create straight alignments between significant points on the Earth's surface. Advocates suggest that ley lines may align with celestial bodies, such as the sun, moon, and stars, which could have symbolic or practical significance in ancient cultures. Some argue that ley lines are associated with increased paranormal activity or higher concentration of certain types of energy. However, such claims are often anecdotal or lack of scientific evidence. Arguments against ley lines. One of the main criticisms is the lack of scientific evidence supporting the existence of ley lines as a mystical energy pathways. The scientific community generally regards the ley lines as pseudoscience. Skeptics argue that the alignments of ancient sites along ley lines may be a result of random chance rather than the deliberate design. They assert that people tend to find patterns even in random data, with some suggesting that they draw a straight line anywhere you will hit two or more monuments, including churches. Critics claim that the selection of specific sites to define ley lines may be influenced by cultural bias and selective cherry-picking of data. They argue that some people often ignore sites that do not fit the desire of the pattern. The interpretation of ley lines and their significance is often subjective and varies among different individuals and cultures. Critics argue that this subjectively undermines the credibility of ley lines as a meaningful concept. Advances in archaeology and astronomy have provided alternative explanations for the placement of ancient sites. Of course, all these straight line and talk of ley lines, no one mentions the possibility of lost stone circles that once were so important and now little is known about them or lost forever. Can we in fact use these ley lines to find these monuments? This is a brief look into ley lines, and whether you believe in these ley lines or not, they continue to be an evolving subject, inspiring a range of pursuits from spiritual journeys to archaeological speculation. The interplay between mythological archaeology and contemporary beliefs create a rich tapestry that reflects humanity's enduring quest for understanding the mysteries of the earth and its ancient landscape. The study of ley lines has also spurred debates within the field of archaeology. While mainstream archaeologists generally dismiss ley lines as pseudoscience and lacking of evidence, some argue that the alignments of ancient sites may have cultural or symbolic significance that we don't fully understand. Critics of ley line theories emphasises the importance of scientific methods and caution against imposing modern beliefs and interpretation of ancient cultures. But then, can science explain everything? Ultimately, ley lines continue to be a topic of debate, speculation and exploration, serving as a bridge between the ancient and the contemporary. Whether viewed as conduits of spiritual energy, remnants of ancient navigation, ley lines persist in capturing the human imagination and encouraging a deeper exploration of the mysteries woven in the fabric of our planet's history. I hope you enjoyed this video, although this is a brief look into ley lines. If it is something you would like me to go further into, please leave a comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Also, if you would like me to look at other sites and their possible ley lines. Before I go, I would like to say a really big thank you to the viewers and subscribers of the channel, to the Patreons and to those who have bought me a coffee. This channel wouldn't be the same without you. Your support has made it all worthwhile and I'm grateful beyond words. So if you're new here, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more contents like this. Also, click that notification bell so you'll never miss an update. Until the next time, stay safe.